What is up, HD Reefers? Mr. Reef HD here, coming at you with another video. We are just at the end of week 4. So, the last video we added the corals. I told you guys I was going to stop dosing the Microbacter 7, which I did. I went out of town for 6 days. Had a niece's birthday party to go to. So I had my mother-in-law take care of this for me. She turned the lights on, she topped it off with water, yada yada, fed the fish. But if you guys notice, we have a lot of splits of these anemones. So I told you guys I was going to cut these, propagate them and take some out, whatever. Put the little ones back in. We have, so the two big orange ones, yeah, if I come too low I get the glare off the light. That sucks. I could probably, there you go. So the two big orange ones both split into 3. So now we have 1, there's the nexus, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, and on the side over here there's 6. Now when anemones split, it's because they're stressed and they split to try to save themselves. So if there's more of them, the probability of one of them staying alive is a lot higher than just one of them trying to stay alive, so they split. I'm going to say it's probably the 2 tank switches, because we put them in the 5-gallon. Week later, put them in this 10-gallon. 3 days later, I left for vacation. So they were getting used to their environment. Alkalinity probably swung because of the 2 tank transfers. So they split. Now, I kind of also think what happened is they got into here. I had to shut this off because when I came home, there was that one there was 2 up here, and then there was this one, and then there was one actually all the way up here by the return, which now has moved to here, and then the other 2 moved up here, and then there also was another one up here. So what I think happened is they moved into either direct flow and split, or they just split and these 2 moved down. Either way, we have 6 all orange. I believe they're technically Arizonas. If I'm not mistaken, the Nexus is just a green bubble tip and an Arizona bubble tip that grafted together. But yeah, so I guess I don't have to cut them and take the chances of, infection happening and stuff because they did it themselves. So I am going to be taking I'm probably going to take all of these off here except for the Nexus. The Nexus is going to stay. He is probably going to get cut soon because Nexus only get about, 2-3 inches, and then they split naturally and they try to split away from each other. That's how I got all these orange ones, because they were all green and orange, and then if you let them split naturally, the green stays away from the orange and they almost separate, at least in my experience, they almost separate just orange and just green. I haven't gotten a just green one yet. I've gotten just orange, so I'm assuming the orange grows faster than the green. Don't know. Anyway, update on the corals. There's the Yuma. Here are the rainbow akins. There's that hammer, which is stretching. So I still haven't upgraded the light yet. I still have that in plans for this in the next recent videos. So these won't stretch as much because they'll have a more high-powered light. Here is the toadstool, and he's actually you can see, if I can focus the camera, he is already attached to that rock, like fully. Like he's even got a second foot. He might split, I don't know. That's what it's looking like to me. Not sure. Dragon's breath, still nice and bright, which means that it's consuming nitrates and phosphates. Otherwise, it'll turn like that top piece is like that's the bottom. You can see on the top, it's bright up there. But they'll get like a dull red like that. The tank I have not cleaned. It's taken every part of me not to throw cleanup crew in here because I want everything to be documented that I'm doing to the tank. So today is the day. I took 2 Astrea and we are throwing them in there. And there's actually, where was he? Oh, he's in there somewhere. There's a little brittle star. Yeah. Anyway, so the glass, you are getting algae growth. The sand, there is very little diatoms down here. Like I said, I've had that off since I got home on Monday. Today is Saturday. So 5 days, I have not had any high flow in here, and this has started. It probably wouldn't have started if I would have had that on, but you can see higher up here, that is not diatom. That is algae, and that is why I'm adding the cleanup crew. You can see down here, nothing. It's because these Kessel lights, they have right in the middle, it's such a hot spot with them, they don't have a good spread. So you get this hot spot. And then look, that's not even shaded, and there's nothing on it. There's no diatoms, there's no algae. Look, you go more towards the middle, algae. Algae. Little bit of diatoms on this rock right here. That's what that is. It's brown. And then nothing. Maybe the start of a little algae on that one. Nothing on these. And then look, right there. It's hard to tell because the light. We got algae growth. So that tells me we got hot spot. When I put the prime on here, it'll have a lot better spread, bigger puck, different spectrum. So it will be a higher par. So we might see some more algae. But that is why today I'm adding these 2. I'll give them a week or 2 to see what they do. I'm not going to clean the glass. I'm not going to do anything to this tank. It's literally just going to run itself. Inevitably, I will end up having to scrape the glass and stuff. Right now, this is just algae on there. You can see from the angle that is algae. And these snails will take good care of that. Take it right out. So, I haven't cleaned the top. So be prepared. This is salt creep for anybody who's like really new. You know, when water gets on this, it evaporates off. The salt stays. So you end up getting that. What I'm going to do with this today is just take this off and run it under the sink. And that'll take care of that. And then I'll put it back on. But I'm going to take it off now. Put the snails in. Because now they have food. You don't want to put these guys in too soon because they won't have food. And depending on how long it takes for your tank to create algae for them. Oh, there goes that brittle star I was talking about. They're a good cleanup crew too. So I'm going to hold him here for a second. Let him grab hold. He's grabbed hold. I'm going to grab this other guy. And I'm going to put him on the other side. Give them a second, they'll grab on. Alright, he grabbed on. And you don't want to get too many of these guys either because once they run out of food, the weakest link's gonna die off, and yeah, that's a wrap. So you don't want to do any of that. So I'll start out with 2. These are from one of my established systems. He actually has a little algae on him. But they'll find each other, and that one will clean that one, and that one, and vice versa. You know, they'll clean each other and stuff. Let me turn the flow off real quick. Where's my controller? There it is. Bam. So yeah, I'll do a time lapse real quick. Sorry, my finger's messing that all up. Here's a little top down. Super, super light, by the way. The diatoms. I didn't expect to get much, if any at all. I obviously did because I turned the flow off. It's inevitable sometimes, you know. You got people that start off with dry rock and dry sand sometimes that say they never got diatoms. And then you got people like me, you know, you got stuff that's 7 years old and you still get it. So, like I said, though, this sand has always been in my sump, so is the rock, so it doesn't really get exposed to light very much anyway. So, it ended up getting a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to switch to the time-lapse. Taking all these guys off of here. I'm going to leave the lower ones. They can move wherever they want. They'll probably end up coming up to the top eventually. Or they might stay down there. I really want that one to move, so I could turn that wave pump back on. And yeah, let's get to the hyperlapse. Alright, there you go. So what I actually ended up doing anyway, as you saw in the video, I took both of the ones that were low out. I think I'm only going to keep the Nexus in here. So, change of plans. As you guys should know by now, I changed my plans in my mind pretty much on the fly. Get this cleaned up. Sorry, I have ADD. You guys probably know that by now too. I don't actually, but I can't ever keep my mind on one task. So, I took the lower ones out because I want to turn that back on. So, I'm going to do that right now. If I can find the dang outlet. There we go. Alright. So now wave maker's back on. Turn the return back on. Okay, yeah, see now that's the movement. That's the movement that this tank has been missing. Whoops. Whoops. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. Alright, little malfunction. Hold on. Let me grab you, put you back in there, grab you. Oh no, where did the other one go? Don't tell me he went way in the rock work. Oh, he didn't, he's right here. I just didn't see him. The little guy. Right here. Okay. I put them in the tank in the first place because I wanted to show you guys them. Right, they should be good there for a second. Let me... There we go. Alright. Take you guys off the tripod. This is what I came up with. There was actually 5. I did count 6 though the other day, so there's one in here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a really small one in here too, I thought. Is it only 4? Oh, there he is. So that's this super small one. Right under this one. Where is he? There he is. So yeah, there's 5 of these. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Maybe post them and get them out of here. Because they are super nice. Very bright orange, pink, green, yellow. The Nexus stayed in. The tank's all stirred up now. It'll clean up though here in the next couple hours. So yeah, there's the removal of that. The addition of the cleanup crew. I wonder if he's even doing anything yet. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah. Are those? Oh my. Okay, sorry. Hang on. I've been doing this a long time and I've never noticed. Focus. They have eyes? Sorry, that is... I don't know if that's creepy or cute. I feel like it's creepy. Let me see if the other one does. Sorry, massive sidetrack. Where is he? Do you have eyes? He does! Okay. See, you learn something new every day. Wow. Okay. Cool. My snails have eyes. I wrote a couple things down. Oh, okay. So we'll go over some beginner stuff. People that have drilled tanks, or people that don't have drilled tanks and want to drill their tanks, they always ask where they should drill it at. You should always drill it somewhere high. As high as you can. You can see this overflow is high. This is high. You have people that drill it into the bottom of the tank. That's okay, but you're leaving yourself open for a big failure. If a bulkhead goes bad, well, not if, but when a bulkhead goes bad, if it's on the ground, guess how far your water is going to drain? It is going to drain to the ground. Now, granted, you're going to probably get a leak first and you'll be able to catch it. But even if you catch it, guess what you got to do? You have to drain, get everything out of your tank, drain your tank, and then re-put your bulkhead in. It's a nightmare. If you have your bulkhead up here, so, I mean, this obviously isn't a bulkhead because this is an all-in-one tank, but say this is a bulkhead and it goes bad. I'll notice it because it'll probably start leaking first. We would pretend this is the outside of the tank, not inside. So it would leak down the back of the tank. I'd find it. And then I only got to lower my water a couple inches. I can leave everything in it while I do the repairs, fill it back up, and good to go. So my suggestion would be not to put a bulkhead in the bottom of your tank, because it's not a matter of if the bulkhead's going to go bad, it's when the bulkhead's going to go bad, and it is going to. It might be 20 years down the road, it might be 10, it might be a week. You don't know. But either way, that job's going to suck if you have to drain your whole tank and find somewhere for all your stuff to go while you do the repair. That could turn from a 20-minute repair to an all-day thing to, it could be a week, depending on how big your tank is. If you have, some people got 3, 4, 5,000 gallon tanks. You got to drain all that water? Bad day. Bad day. Bad week. Don't do it. Just don't drill the bottom of your tank. Questions about lights on. Like if you're going to do a cycle, which obviously I didn't do a cycle on this tank because the tank is pretty much cycled as it is. I mean, it's 4 weeks old and there's barely anything on it. Like I said, I haven't cleaned it. I am going to get something for the sand. But cycling tanks. Should I keep my lights on while the tank is cycling? I would say no, because like I explained in the first video, the week 1, you want your bacteria to colonize all over your stuff, all over your glass, all over your rocks, all in your sand. if you're leaving your lights on, you'll hear the argument from some people. They'll say, yeah, just get the ugly stage out of the way first, and then you'll be good after that. Which is true. If you cycle with your light on, you're gonna get that really bad ugly stage where you're looking at your tank and you're like, wow, I'm doing something wrong, which you're not. It's just part of the process. Yeah, you can get the ugly stage out of the way fast, or you can do it with no light on, because if you're cycling and you have just fish don't need light. So again, you don't do the light. You give your bacteria time to colonize your rock, which is not going to be able to colonize your rock and sand right away if there's diatoms also hosting the rock. You know what I'm saying? So if you give your bacteria nothing to compete with, it's going to cover all your stuff, and when you turn your light on, you're not going to get your diatoms. And if you do, it's going to be very small specks, like how I have. See what I'm saying? Like, there's very small specks because I'm sure there probably was some die-off from when I had the sand out of the water for, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. So there's probably some die-off, and that's why you got that. This is just from lack of flow over here. That's why you can see on this part, because this blows this way into this corner. So the diatoms are way, way less down here. The more water flow that you have, the less diatoms are going to build up. Now, I'm not saying turn a freaking giant jet on in your tank, to stay away from diatoms, because if you're going to have your lights on, you're going to get them. It's just a matter of how bad are you going to get them. So that's why I said with these rocks, I'm probably not going to get any, this is amazing for 4 weeks. Some people might look at this and be like, oh my God, that's disgusting. You should see a tank that has fresh rock and fresh sand going through a cycle at 4 weeks. It looks like the freaking Great Barrier Reef where it's dying off. Like, it is just disgusting. But this tank is doing very well. So I guess the whole light thing is up to you. If you want your light on, turn your light on. Your tank's going to go through the ugly phase, and it's going to be bad, but it will go away. That's part of the process. Or leave your lights off for 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks while you're cycling. And when you turn your lights on, you might get a little bit, but you're not going to get nearly what you would have if you would have just left your lights off. Now, if you're going to do what I did and throw corals in right away, or anemones, yes, you have to have a light, because without light, these die. Without light, those die. So I'm cycling. Technically, it's a mini cycle. You'll probably hear that, the more you research things. But yes, my tank is absolutely mini cycling right now, which means everything's super light. Nothing's really bothering any of the corals. Corals are obviously doing great. They do need more light. This guy, see his little tentacles? He's actually trying to expand. So he's sending out his sweepers to see what's close to him. And honestly, I think it might have had something to do with all of those anemones up there. I think he might have sensed them or something in the water. They weren't touching, because if they were touching, they would have killed him. Or at least stung him, and he would stay to himself. But yeah, he's putting his sweepers out to try to grow. He's closed up now because he's pissed off because I put my hand in the water. But yeah. So cycle your tank with your light on or off. Doesn't matter. If you do it with it off, you're not going to have a crazy bad ugly stage. And then you'll have a mini cycle when you turn your lights on finally, and then it'll go away. And then, yeah, do not drill to your bottom of your tank for overflows or return pumps. Just don't do it. I know you'll see people with closed loop systems set up, and they have 10 bulkheads in the bottom of their 500 or 1,000 gallon tank. I'm pretty sure they are siliconed in on top of being screwed in, because then you're pretty much guaranteed to never have a leak. You can do that with your tank if you want, but then you got to realize if you're ever going to move and you got to take your tank anywhere, You're not going to want the bulkheads on the bottom because then you can't set your tank down on anything. It's just a pain. I would steer you away from doing that. Again, like I said in the last video, don't put anemones in your brand new tank. Don't do it. Once your tank is cycled, then you put them in first. Give them a couple weeks. Let them find their spots. And then put your coral in. Otherwise, you're going to be moving your coral around a lot. For anybody who is wondering how I got these off of the rock, they just split, a week ago now? And they were still pretty loosely on the rock. So they were pretty easy to get off. I used my fingernail real lightly. Some people say you use an ice cube. An ice cube has never worked for me. So yeah, I just hang them upside down. If they're in a hole, just forget about it. You're gonna probably, the chances of you ruining the foot or ripping the foot and then it getting some sort of bacterial infection is very high. So yeah, don't do that. If it's in a hole, my recommendation would be just leave your light off for 3-4 days. If you leave your light off for 3-4 days, they're gonna start searching for light and they're gonna move. Get them while they're moving. Or try the ice cube thing. I mean, I'm sure everyone doesn't say to do that because it doesn't work. It probably does. It's never worked for me, and I've tried a handful of times. I just scrape them off with my finger real lightly. If they're in a spot that's, they're really in there, just leave them alone. You're going to end up hurting their foot, ripping their foot, which is going to leave them open for bacterial infections. And then you're just going to lose the thing anyway, so leave it. All right, let me get you guys a little blue before we go. Because everybody loves a good blue tank with a filter, right? I know I do. Filter. There we go. See that? The diatom? They kind of show up a little red when you put your filter on. So if you want to know if it's algae, most of the time you put your lens on and then you look, and if it shows up red, I mean, it could be red algae too. You never know. If you want to be 100% sure, you can get a microscope. Man, these things are just so bright. It's crazy. Yeah, probably going to post these because the other tank that they were in, that's going to be another informational video because that tank has flatworms in it and severe algae problem, as it was my old mushroom tank that is no longer a mushroom tank. And I just let it go. Actually, there's not even a light on it. It's just been lit by the window that it's in front of. And yeah, these guys probably won't do best in there. So actually what I might do is put a rock in here, put the top on, drill some holes in this, and keep it in this tank for now. I just don't want them getting to where I can't get them eventually. So yeah, the red can also be a cyanobacteria if you haven't heard of that. I don't think that this is. It could possibly be with how low the flow was in here. But again, you wouldn't really know. The best way to tell is turn your lights on, look for the coloration. If you're not sure, put the blues on, grab a lens, or put some glasses on, look through. This is hard because look, the angles that I'm getting off the light, it's already just making everything look red anyway. Let's see if we go from the side. Okay, so from the side, you can see that that's green. Turns a little red. For me in person, it looks more green. Yeah, when I get under this light, everything just looks red. So it's like everything looks like dinos, but it's not. See if we can get a close up of that. See, those are dinos. See how it's kind of like blanketed over everything? I can get a little zoom. And you'll also know too, when you turn your lights off, This will almost completely disappear at night when your lights are off. Then you turn your lights on and then it pops back up. This area, when I turned the lights on this morning, was almost clear. It's got a lot more showing up, I'm sure. By the time I wake up for work later, it'll probably be almost completely like brown. Here's the Akins. They are doing very well. They seem to be liking the amount of light that they're getting. I don't think that I'll be feeding them in this tank because this is a small tank and nitrates and phosphates build up pretty quick here. Man, I wish I would have got the blue video of that before it closed up because, man, I don't know what it is about a leather with those neon green wavy tips on it, but they're just freaking awesome. And then there's the little Nexus. He'll be the only anemone that's staying in here. And probably next week when I do the light and stuff, I'll probably cut him so that way I'll have two, and then they'll both get added back into here and be high up in the rocks. But yeah, there's the I guess week 3, week 4, whatever you want to call it. Today actually ends the 4th week, so I was on vacation almost a week, so I missed a week. So actually we'll just say 4, whatever. Everything's doing fine. Filter roller, I haven't actually rolled this in a while. It's almost out. I need to order some new fleece for that, get that changed out. Oh, I did actually get thermometer. Just a little cheap one. Oh, told you guys. 79 degrees. A little warmer than I like to keep it. I normally keep my tanks, like I said, 77, 76, somewhere in that area. Keep it a little cooler. I find that my corals do better in that temperature. But yeah, tank's thriving, tank's doing good. Turn that back on. See, there's all white. All white light with the filter on. Everything just looks yellow and green. Pop the lens off. And you can see this tank definitely needed its cleanup crew, which it got it. Honestly, I would have did it on Tuesday when I got home, but I want you guys to see everything that goes into this when it happens, so that way, you know, you don't miss anything. There's no, I need to clean this glass. I got it real dirty messing around with these anemones. I'm not gonna, yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna do anything to this tank without telling you guys or showing you guys. So that's what you get. The new beginner tank. If you guys like this video and you guys want to see more videos, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Why do I keep saying scribes? Like and scribe. That makes sense. Like and subscribe. Share it. The more views that we get and the more subscribers, you know, the more it's gonna entice me to keep making videos. And honestly, this has been great so far. I've been getting about 1,000 views a video, which for me, that's good enough. I don't need millions of views right now, but as long as I got my 1,000 people watching, I'm happy. So I'm gonna take off, and as always, happy reefing.